Hey man, what's going on with y'all? It's Jordan back again, becoming a better you. Part of becoming a better you is obviously cutting out those vices, and obviously there can be a lot of vices out there. It could be very difficult for you. But I want to go into the effects of drinking and smoking and, how they can obviously harm your productivity, how it can make things difficult in your life, more difficult in your life than it already is. So first off, being transparent about myself, I do drink on occasion. I may have a drink or two, maybe once a week, socially. That's something that I do. I have with friends or my girlfriend. That's something we do. And that obviously moderation is key. But at one point I used to smoke every day. I was a everyday type of smoker. I would smoke before work, I would smoke after work. I was consistent with that every day. It was something I became dependent on. And as of recently, ever since I've stopped smoking, I've just found that my productivity has skyrocketed. I'm thinking a lot more about positive things that add value to my life. My relationships with my parents have been better. My relationship with my girlfriend has been better. I'm less aggravated. A lot of times when I would stop, my girlfriend would tell me a lot all the time. It was like, every time you stop smoking, every time you're not smoking, or every time you haven't smoked in a while, you become very aggravated and you become, very snappy sometimes. And I'm like, a lot of times I didn't even realize it. I would just do it. And I would say a lot of times that came from just the smoking, because I would say I'm in a lot better mood and I'm just a lot clear-headed, in general. Just thinking about things like even now, doing content creation, just even like, put my foot out there to do YouTube and make this channel and try and help other men, try and elevate or be motivated to elevate and make different choices in their lives, to be more disciplined and to lock in, so excuse me. Yeah, that's something that I really, have been able to see a lot more. I see life a lot clearer now than I did before. And so like going into the negative effects of smoking, obviously it has a negative effect on your money. For me, I was regularly spending, countless money. I'm saying I would make at least $200 to $300, in a month, on weed, if not more at times, or maybe less, more or less around that range. But I was regularly doing this. Right when I get paid, I'm going to buy some weed, or what I'm saying. And it just became, I started buying apes, and then it became to me drawing more and more quantities to, because my tolerance just continued to build up. And obviously that's more and more money that's adding up in my pocket. And I was blinded. It took me so long to come to this realization, because I was blinded by the fact that, even through high school, not through high school, I didn't smoke. I didn't smoke till after I got out of high school. But like through college and everything, I felt like, okay, I can do this, because, I'm able to get through college. I was able to go to college. I worked, I was taking care of my son. I was doing all of these things. So I'm like, it's not really affecting my productivity. I'm able to maintain all of these things, but little did I know, it was affecting my mood. Like my girlfriend would say at times, like, a lot of times you seem like aggravated when you don't smoke and things like that. You seem a lot more aggravated. And, it's something that unconsciously I wasn't thinking about, but, in general, the fact was, I was affecting the other people around me. My mother obviously didn't approve of that either. She's not, that's not something that she does or she approves of. And, that's just another thing that I kind of had to battle with, while I was doing that. So it's like, you make your family members worry about you a lot more. And, you just put a lot more stress on your family members because they're worried about your well-being, just getting behind the wheel high, or, things like that, just not stressing those type of things and thinking that everything is cool when it's not. Those obviously that's a big effect between like the money, and then on top of that, your family, You know, productivity, like I said, you know, I'm a lot more productive. But, you know, when I was smoking weed, it was like, you know, I would just be chill. Like, I'd be like, let me just play the game. I'd be sitting on the game, or, you know, at one point, or I'd just be tired. I'd be like, let me get off the game. I'll go sleep. I sleep for a couple of hours. And then that's like a couple of hours of time or productivity that I could have achieved, you know, if I focus more on, let me just focus on this. I mean, let me just not do this, or let me, you know, instead of me sleeping or being so high that I'm so tired and I'm wasting that time, you know, I could have, that's time that that's time that you don't get back. That's time that you could be productive. It could be doing something that adds more value to your life. And that's something I didn't realize, or I didn't take into account. So, you know, those are the main aspects I would say for me. Drinking, you know, like I said, for people that drink more, you know, that's more of a drinker than me. You know, I'm not somebody that goes and get bottles. I'm not somebody that, I've never been that person, you know, like I said, maybe on occasion. And if I'm with somebody, but I'm not like, you know, but I know people who generally just go and they drink by themselves and they get bottles and they're constantly at the bar and stuff like that. You know, drinking is very harmful, obviously, to not only to you, but it's like, you know, it's just harmful, like I said, to other people around you. You know, a lady that I used to work with at one point, you know, I know, obviously I'm not going to put her name out there, but, you know, she was a heavy drinker, and a lot of times she would drive, and, you know, she had been countless, you know, issues and problems and accidents and stuff. And I'm like, you know, I would kind of worry about her, because obviously, you know, it's an older woman, and, you know, this is a issue that she had. And not only that, it's just, you know, it affects your health and, you know, just your mindset and things like that. So, you know, when you drink, obviously you're not thinking straight. And I would have to argue that drinking is even more harmful than smoking, because, you know, by drinking so much and then getting behind the wheel, or even like just doing things, is just, you make the decisions that you make are a lot worse, you know, especially if you're a heavy drinker and somebody that drinks consistently, you know. And you know, it's a very difficult thing, you know, having other people, you know, and when you're not the type of person who likes to take advice, which I was that person as well. I'm like, this ain't affecting me. This is something I do to take the edge off, so I'm gonna do it anyway. But, you know, I didn't want it to be a situation where it was too late and I got into a problem that I couldn't get myself out of, because, you know, I was just not listening or heeding any advice. So that's why I kind of, like I said, locked in, and I made that decision for myself. Like, you know, like not drinking, but I wasn't gonna smoke no more. But, you know, for people that drink, it's like, you know, it's even more difficult, because, you know, you can develop even more of a tolerance, and then, you know, becoming an alcoholic, you know, just drinking every day and becoming so dependent on it. There's too many harmful effects, and like I said, mainly the people around you, but also health wise. You know, you can't name too many people. For me, I can't name too many people who I know that drink on such a consistent basis who aren't bigger. They have bigger stomachs. They're just naturally bigger, because obviously it makes you bigger, drinking, especially if you're somebody that drinks a lot. So, you know, obviously the health effects of that just become even more detrimental to you. You know, just being able to have kids, like for women, obviously being able to have kids becomes more difficult. For men, you know, being able to have sex is more difficult, because you know, it's just more difficult in general. So with that being said, I just feel like we have to really lock in and make different decisions in our lives, because, you know, as people in your life, there's always someone in your life who cares about you, who wants the best for you, and they want you to make a change. So you have to want that change, though. That's the thing. And for me, I had to make that decision for myself. Like, I want to change. I want to do this. And once you do that, you will definitely see that the effects, you know, the positive effects will be immense, and naturally everything in your life will be so much more, you know, better. So, you know, just wanted to make a quick video on that. Hope y'all like what I'm saying. Hope y'all, understand where I'm at, and and can hopefully, take some advice and maybe make a change for yourself at some point. Doesn't have to be today, doesn't have to be tomorrow, but as long as you're making steps towards doing that, make that effort. So yeah, peace.